Kettle versus teapot. Today we're going to look at the big differences between a tea kettle versus teapot. The two terms are often used interchangeably as a vessel to brew tea, but actually serve completely different purposes. Number 1. Understanding the tea kettle. When looking at a tea kettle versus teapot, let's look at the tea kettle first. A tea kettle is a vessel that's designed and made to withstand a direct heat source to heat water. This includes your electric or gas stovetop, which could bring water to a boil. Although you now see electric tea kettles in the market to heat water, most of us would still think of the stovetop tea kettle. Traditionally, a tea kettle will have a lid which will open and close, so you can add water along with a spout to pour the water out. Number 2. Understanding the teapot. Next comes our look at the teapot as we analyze the tea kettle versus teapot. Unlike a tea kettle, a teapot cannot withstand continuous heat from a heat source. Teapots are meant for brewing tea by steeping a tea bag or loose leaf tea. Tea bags or loose tea leaves would be placed in the teapot, and then hot water would be poured over the tea for brewing. Number 3. Reasons to have a tea kettle and a teapot. So now we have discussed all the differences in a tea kettle versus teapot. But why should you use both a tea kettle and a teapot? Well, it all has to do with how the tea is brewed best. The most flavorful tea will come when hot water and poured either over a tea bag or over loose leaf tea. As a side note, you should also see why loose leaf tea has many advantages over tea bags and is recommended over tea bags. Number 4. Convenience and taste. In the United States, we're more accustomed to drinking tea as an individual or served as a single cup of tea. Water is heated in a tea kettle on the stove and poured into the cup with a tea bag. A cup of water might also be heated in the microwave and a tea bag added later. However, historically and traditionally, tea is served in larger groups. Because of the larger groups, it would be better suited to transfer the heated water from a tea kettle into a larger vessel to brew the tea. Number 5. Easier cleaning and poor taste. Believe it or not, using two vessels makes for easier cleaning. This is assuming that you're using loose leaf tea and not pouring directly into a cup. Many question the use of two vessels and purchase the tea kettle with the infuser in the kettle. But using a single vessel makes for difficult cleaning and poor flavors. It's understandable that a tea kettle and a teapot are often confused. After all, they do look very similar. But both a tea kettle and teapot have specific functions to give you a great tasting cup of tea. There's also something plain old fun about brewing tea in a traditional way.